What is up, crew? Welcome to Seek the Edge podcast with me, Kelsey Lensman, where our mission is to challenge you outside of your comfort zone so you can tap into the God-given potential inside and just show yourself you're capable of so much more. I am genuinely so excited about this specific episode because we are going to talk about the high and the habit. And what this means is many of you have either competed at one of our events, or you've competed in something, or spoken on a stage, or had a high in your life, had a baby, got married, right? There's moments that are incredibly big highs. I remember back when I did my first bodybuilding show, that was a very high moment. I achieved a goal that I was working towards for months, for such a long time. But what oftentimes isn't talked about is after the high, what happens? What happens is also often the now what? It's often the lack of momentum. It's the lack of, you just get into, for lack of a better way to say it, you get into this weird funk. And what many people don't talk enough about is how do I go from this high now to a habit? Meaning keeping this momentum going, not just putting another date on your calendar, even though it can be helpful sometimes, but keeping this 1 degree shift momentum going to continually become a better version of you and a more fulfilled version of you. So for example, we'll have many people competing in our Women Expanding Limits lifting event and High Rocks PFT and just community event over the weekend. And they will have certain highs. There's going to be women that are going to hit some PRs that are just going to completely break a belief of what's possible for them. But then they're going to wake up Monday morning. And when you wake up Monday morning, you're maybe scrolling through some old some photos from the weekend, remembering the cheers, the excitement, the highs, the tears, the moments, whatever that may be. But then that Monday morning, the laundry piles up, your schedule fills back up, you go back to work, you go back to doing the things prior to that weekend, and it can be very common to feel that post-event dip. It's not a sign that anything is wrong or that you are doing anything wrong, but what we want to chat through is your life doesn't change just from one powerful weekend. It's what you do with that weekend that change will come. It does not just happen from, I just hit this crazy PR and I am riding a high Saturday night. It's what you do with Saturday night going into Monday and Tuesday that genuinely matters. And I've always been a person that I don't care how much it hits you one moment. I want this to actually transform and change. I don't just want this to be a one day blip on your radar. I want this to elicit transformation within you. And I want this to elicit you leading a better life as a result of it. And so with regards to the high, why do you feel like this? Okay. Number one, you're in an environment where community is strong here. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of emotional connection. You'll form bonds with women. Like you're just going to feel such a sense of being in community. But also your belief in yourself is built through the action that you're taking on that day. And so you have this excitement, you have this just energy within your soul and your body that you're riding high from, even if you don't perform exactly how you want to feel, even if it's not exactly the way that you want to, you still overall usually take away from that weekend like, man, I'm just so proud of myself for doing the thing. Or it can elicit this fire of, hey, I'm going to get better at this thing. And so those weekends, transformation doesn't just come from a moment. It can, but those weekends are meant to kind of shake you up a little bit, meant to get you excited, meant to wake you up and say, hey, this is who you are and this is what's possible. But also this mountaintop moment, it's not the destination. It's just a launch pad. These weekends, it's not the end. It's just the beginning. And so as you come out of that weekend, it's what we do with that weekend that matters. It's what we do with those moments that matter. And this is where the gap of the high and the habit that comes in. This gap is your environment shifts. There's no cheering crowd. There's no schedule. There's no excitement of, man, nobody's cheering me of like, go hit a PR on Monday morning. That environment is different. The daily responsibilities come back in. Many times when you're prepping for an event or we're at an event weekend, you're not thinking about your to-do list at work, right? You're so present in that moment, but then also reality can set in again on that Monday morning. Your old patterns can reassert themselves, meaning that doubt, this could open up a can of worms, but I'm just going to briefly go over this. There's this book called The Leap. Say it's The Leap. Oh, it's by Gay Hendricks. I cannot remember The Big Leap. That's what it is. The Big Leap. And he talks a lot about how we all have glass ceilings. And when we break through a glass ceiling, whether that be in fitness, meaning we hit a massive high, or that be a relationship, we finally have the relationship we're desiring, whether that be in business, you break through a financial glass ceiling. What happens to your brain subconsciously is you have a view of yourself. And let's say that view is a 75 degree. When you break through that glass ceiling, your subconscious, your brain raises to that 95 degrees. And so this happens without us being aware. But what'll happen is our patterns are like, wait, Kelsey, you ain't a 95 degree, you're a 75 degreer. And so we'll slowly start to self-consciously sabotage ourselves back to that 75 degrees. If we're not aware, awareness is the biggest part. Doesn't mean it has to happen, but it means if we're not aware of this, when you break through on that weekend, Monday happens and it's like, well, I'm just not going to work out. I'm just not going to do the things that got me here. I'm just going to stop and slow down what's actually has led to me having that high. And so old patterns can creep up. And also some people just think that motivation will stay forever. There is nothing like event weekends, but that motivation won't be there forever and ever and ever, okay? I noticed this a lot when I was doing bodybuilding. I just remember this, is you're so focused on a goal. You're so excited to go after this goal. That goal is accomplished. And now it's like, well, what if? Or like, what happens next? And well, I just had a girl with this. She just finished a big cutting phase for her. Just big peak at her birthday. And then you can lose that momentum. You can lose that discipline that was in there before. And it's very normal. It is very, very normal. However, just because it's normal doesn't mean that we need to stay there, okay? Just because it's normal doesn't mean that just is what it is. I thought I really would stay on that high for a long time. However, growth happens in the moments after that. Growth happens in the small, quiet moments in your brain after that big high. And so this is where this bridge comes in. High, habit, there's a gap. How do I get over to that bridge? What is that framework to get over? I'm going to even say it's a 4-part framework. Number 1, be grateful. I was going to go first into the anchor. I'm like, oh, be grateful. Be proud of what you just accomplished. Take a moment. Usually when we're in an event day, we're so riled up that we're just like, just get excited. And we're not really present. So I want you to close your eyes if you're able to right now and just like breathe in feeling proud of yourself and breathe out anything that you don't need. Have so much gratitude, not just for yourself, but have so much gratitude for the gifts God's given you, for the opportunity to compete or to be a part of that. Like, gratitude will dry out any of this frustration. You cannot be grateful and like angry at the same time or frustrated. Like they don't coincide with one another. And so gratitude, just be grounded like, man, yeah, I might not feel that great right now, but I'm just so grateful for a body that could. I'm just so grateful for my ability to have courage to step into it. For those people of faith, man, God, I'm just so grateful that you've surrounded me with a community or with women that are inspiring me for more. And I'm grateful for the capability that you've given within me. Number 1 is gratitude. Oh, that's going to get you so far, okay? But number 2 is anchor that moment. Choose one of the defining moments from that weekend. It can be a conversation. It can be a lift. It can be a breakthrough. It can be a feeling. And I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think, what was the moment that made something shift inside of you? Name it. What was that moment? And I want you to breathe that moment in, and I want you to exhale anything that you don't need out. That anchor gives you emotional weight so you can continually tap into what that moment was. You can tap into, like I said, just being grateful for what that had. And so I want you to take that anchor and I want you to take what that belief broke that was within you, or that moment that you felt maybe really connected, or that you felt just so proud of yourself. And I want you to attach it to a habit. So for example, it might be you hit a PR and you're just ecstatic and you're just so excited. So how do we make that high to be a habit? Well, you know what? I'm going to train so consistently, 3 to 4 days a week. I'm going to be so focused in this training. I'm going to commit to this. Commit means to cut away. It means to decide. It means to nothing is coming away. Like I'm committing to that for myself. It might be something mindset that you broke that belief. It might be something that you feel that feeling every morning, or you brain dump 5 minutes in the morning, and you're focused on that growth internally, not just that growth physically. For you, for me, a lot over this past couple months has been faith, right? That might be grounding yourself in daily prayer in the morning, or opening your Bible if that's something that you believe in, and just reading the word. Start small and start consistent. It's not this big, I'm going to hit another PR this week. It's how do I transfer that high and what led to that high or that breakthrough? And then how do I transfer that into a consistent habit that I can do? So we get gratitude. We understand what happened. What was that anchor? What was that emotional shift? Number 3, we automate that into a habit, and then we attach it into a community, okay? Do not try to sustain it alone. This is where the community comes in. This is where it might be a friend. It might be our XYL community in general. Is that fire doesn't have to fade. It just needs to be tended together. And so momentum is multiplied when it shares. And what I mean by that is, for me, a habit that I've been really grounding myself in is learning way more from a faith lens and getting in my Bible daily. And I have a girl right now that lives with me. And every morning we wake up and do about 30 to sometimes 45 an hour in the morning. And we're just reading and we're talking about it and we're wrestling with it. And I told her this morning, I was like, Kyla, if I didn't have you, I don't think I would be as consistent as I am right now. Because when I want to sleep in, I hear her get up and she turns the light on in her bathroom. And I'm like, Kelsey, you got to get up. Okay. You got to do it. Yes, for you, but also for Kyla. And so allow yourself to attach to a community and allow this high to create a habit, to create consistency. Ooh, that gets good. Okay. And over everything, this is reframing who you believe yourself to be. This is reframing who you believe your identity to be. Your identity is not a power lifter. Your identity is not a high roxer. Your identity is not a fitness person. Your identity is so much deeper than that. Who you are is so much deeper. Those can be things that you do and identities that you have, but it's not you grounding yourself in that. Okay. My question for you is, who did you become this weekend? Live from that identity, even when the feeling isn't there. I'm somebody that I'm courageous. I'm somebody that I do the thing even if I'm a little bit afraid. I'm somebody that I stay consistent and I commit to myself. I'm somebody that I value growth. All of those things, for me, I'm a child of God, right? Those are identities that it's not an outcome that you're performing to. It's an identity that you're grounding into. And so you're not tracing the high. You're chasing the woman that shows consistently up. You're chasing the woman that is so deeply rooted, and it's not based on a high of a weekend and then a low. It's based on who you're becoming in the process. And so I'm going to give you an action step. Is number 1, pick your anchor. What is that? What was that breakthrough? Number 2, choose one habit. Choose one habit. And number 3, tell a person. Be accountable with somebody. This moment is not just a weekend that fades into a memory. It's a moment that changes everything. It's a moment that ripple effects into you leading life differently. It's a moment that leads to transformation, not just one high moment and then back to the normal. Okay. And I love this quote. I'm going to read it to you directly. The mountaintop moments are beautiful, but your life is built in the valleys. It's in the quiet, the daily choices that no one cheers for. That's where belief comes real. And so this isn't the end of the story. This is where the story gets real. And so for those that competed with us over this past weekend, I want to say thank you. I'm incredibly proud of you. But this is where we go from the high to the habit. And I'm so excited to see where that high leads to transformation.